Hello there. Oh, what?
I was gonna do an intro.
But you didn't say that.
But I was gonna. Well, here,
Okay.
I'm
Well,
gonna go
okay,
ahead and do my intro because it is my video.
welcome everybody.
Why is everybody trying to steal my thunder? Okay. Hello, 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 hello. It's me, the see, this is what happens when y'all throw me off. You know what? Fine. I'm not even gonna bother. I'm Silsey Starfrog, the star-loving cyborg dragon frog, and these are my knucklehead friends who have thrown me so far off my game. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, you jerks.
You're welcome.
I am the Baron Voltherd, or just Sabby or Sabby VH. I have my own streaming platform over on twitch.tv / Sabaron Voltherd. It's exactly how it sounds, spelled SABARRENVOLTHERT. I know it is a mouthful. Maybe it'd be easier just follow me over on my TikTok, which is just tiktok.com / at SabaronVH or SabbyVH. Either or will work. You can also follow my lovely wife, Miss Skittish Kitty, over on twitch.tv / SKIDDISH Kitty. Joining us tonight is also our lovely Foxo Boyo Everix playing Mercury.
Okay.
And
Name's Everix, codename Mercury, aka Shithead.
and our lovely Mistmaster storyteller is Mr. Boss Tom. He unfortunately does not have any socials for me to plug, but I am going to be plugging one of his spectacular art friends that I wish I could afford to commission, Mr. J Echo. You can find him over on Blue Sky at let's see here, bsky.amp / profile / JAYECHO .art. That is his safe for work account. We trust Blue Sky. We don't trust Twitter. But our lovely Miss Silsey here, who is the star of her own channel over on twitch.tv / Silsey, SYLCEY. She also has a YouTube where she posts all of her Twitch streams and all of that. That is youtube.com / at Ancient Archive. Exactly how it's spelled, all one word.
And if you're watching this right now, you're probably already there. So please feel free to share with your friends.
And if you
Honestly,
look down below the video,
right
you can...
now, if you're watching this right now, how while we're recording?
Eventually, we will get back around to streaming over on Silsey's channel. But if you are watching on YouTube, thank you for your attention. Please look below the video and watch something light up as I ask you to please press the subscribe button. Make sure you like, comment, and all that good stuff. It helps out the algorithm. Do we have anything else that we need to go over?
Nope, I'm all good to go.
Well, then I believe it is time to dial in and turn our attention to our lovely dungeon master, Mr. Boss Tom.
Oh goodness, that's a lot more premium than what. that's slapping a commercial onto a junker right there. Anyway,
At least I don't do skits like a Mr. Sam Riegel. Yet.
Yet.
I don't know. If we get a sponsor, I might do it. I'll do it. I'm a theater kid with no outlet. I say as I never actually was in theater because our theater sucked in high school.
I was a theater kid.
Oh, so last time on Winter Everlasting, Lash entering the basement under the makeshift speaker's house in the tavern found a distraught Faye without much else to go on other than Faye holding a severed string of silk leading to a mirror. tried the only thing she thought could work and attempted to heal the mirrors. And to her shock, it worked, showing these mirrors were in some way alive. On opening the mirror up, she and Faye found their way to their companions, also finding themselves now trapped within the mirror cavern. Octavia continued to commune with the massive hand and ended up with a new passenger, a yet unnamed crystal entity now living in her chest, a shard of a forgotten and held captive god. Talks with the child were had, with Lash hiding her presence in her weapon form, and Mercury and Faye acting under Octavia's thrall. She was able to lie her way into being more thought of as on the side of the gloom, with the child opening up to her frustrations with her companions, the lady and the beast. Octavia had the feeling that the next time she met with the child, the godly being would most likely demand a true joining into the ranks. Being allowed to leave, the party found the former speaker now returned to her proper position, Astrid Firemane and the newly arrived Marshal of the Dale, highest law in the land, Marshal Nemesis. Lash, you awaken in the buckle. After your harrowing adventure in the Mirror Cavern, you had returned back to your family, heedless of the wants of the Marshal's demands. She could come to you. You had family to attend to,
And a nap to have.
and a nap.
Yeah, I assume that after I wake up, everybody is already doing their chores for the day. So Lash is going to go around and start doing her old rounds. It's kind of like riding a bike. She had been adventuring in order to get her sister back, and now she's going to pretend like everything is normal until it isn't anymore. So yeah, and I believe Kimmy still has 4 more days before her arm is fully regenerated.
Indeed. The once missing limb has begun to grow back outward. It having a bit of a reaction to the amber blood heart. The skin growing out is stone looking but still supple like flesh as the fur begins to grow in over it. And the visible veins running along it are the same golden amber hue.
I don't say anything about her growing arm. I'm glad that she is back. I'm glad that her arm is coming back. Very thankful for whoever had sent the ring during the what this realm would call Christmas. Uh, but yeah, again, she's just going around making sure everybody's okay, everything's straightened up. Um, whatever needs to be done of her is going to get done with no fuss.
You sink back into the well-worn, familiar path of working at the buckle, a sense of familiarity and comfort in the simple acts of tending to the staff and patrons that have finally begun to re-patron the building.
She's probably not in the mindset to be taking any clients today. If she is going to do a work around the buckle, it would probably be helping Hattie with front of house. That is, if Hattie's even in a condition to do a front of the house, she has been through so much. So if she needs to tag out, Lash is perfectly fine to front of house by herself.
Hattie is more than thrilled to be back greeting people, not having to be looked at by terrifying guards that looked at her animal and not person. Eventually, partway through your shift, one of the guards that had come with the marshal does step up to the front counter.
Evening, sir. What's your poison?
I've been sent to collect you, man.
Oh, you do know that I charge more for groups, right?
As one of the individuals who helped with the change of leadership in the town, the marshal does still need to speak with you. You'll be with your friends, though.
Okay. I'm assuming I can find the marshal with the speaker, or is she held up elsewhere?
The speaker's residence has been reopened. She will be waiting there for all of you for individual statements.
Okay. So is it a matter of urgency? Like I need to get there today, or could I maybe swing by after work?
The sooner the better, if you do not mind. Just don't leave town until you've spoken with her.
Uh, Honey, my home is here. I'm not going anywhere if I can help it.
Well,
Kind of nestles up next to Hattie.
well, with how adventures go, home is a place often left behind and returned to.
I mean, I'm not opposed to travel, but home is where you hang your bra. So,
Uh, Marshall will enjoy you. Just don't keep her waiting too terribly long. If she decides to come look for you herself, she'll be in less of a talkative mood.
if she is in a bad mood and comes swinging by here, I will offer her a discount for our services. Actually, I don't have the authority to do that. I'll see her soon. Trust me. I'm done playing around with this whole shtick. Like I've had my fun. I will see her at some point after my shift.
And you get a look at a actual genuine warm smile from under the helmet. Good to hear. We like to keep adventures watched, but not exactly interfered with. You folk tend to do better when left to your own devices. So, a quick chat with her, what happened and all that, and you'll be free to return back here as soon as you're done.
I mean, if watching is what you're into, we offer that service too, darling. I'm sorry. I know I said I was done, but that low hanging fruit and all that. That is a service that we do offer if you don't like to touch.
I'll see what can be done after shift is over. But you take care, and we'll see you later.
I hope so. Bye bye.
And low hanging fruit is another thing they call it.
Hmm?
Nothing.
Nothing.
But after some time when her shift does end, because it's not an all-night kegger sort of situation. Like, there are set hours here, thankfully. Lash will she'll go in her pride silk outfit, the black one that doesn't have sleeves, because it's a short walk over there, and she's gotta flaunt it somehow at some point. But yeah, she'll make her way over. It's a short trip. She can use prestidigitation to keep her clothes warm on her and all that jazz before knocking on the door to the speaker's hut.
Go about finishing up your day and preparing. Tavia, Mercury. Eventually, there is a knock on the cannery door asking for your presence to speak with the marshal.
Ah, yes, of course, of course. Oh, goodness. All sorts of busy business. Can't put it all off forever. All right, Cecilia, darling, I need you to watch over the cannery again for a while. I finished the account indexes. They're sitting on my desk, and just double check my math. I know you're good at it, and make sure everyone gets their proper wages. I know that we're dipping a little deep into the reserves, but well, we have to be fair, as per our contracts. So I leave it to you, darling.
Stands upright with her clipboard clutched in front of her. Of course, Miss Octavia. I will make sure everything is taken care of until you return.
There's a good girl. Thank you. Faye, do come along. They will probably want to talk to you as well. So let us be on our merry way. Mercury, are you still in the rafters, darling?
He just hops down from the rafters.
And playing
There's a-
tic-tac-toe in the webs with Delsa. Oh, wait, no, you're not you're not
Not
at the
at the
buggle.
buggle.
Crap.
Wrong building, wrong building. Delsa
Yeah,
is not in my place.
Mercury was cleaning up his web when he was called, so it is no longer up there.
Lovely. Good. I hate having to ask the Shadow Squad to go up there and do cleanup. All right.
Oh, he's particular. He never leaves it.
Mm.
So yeah, because spider lore is when they are done with their web, they eat it to regain the nutrients from it.
She was being coy, but anyway.
Oh, I didn't
Maybe
know
stop being
that.
fish with a spider.
Anyway.
Fish with a
Righto.
spider?
Well then, I suppose there's no
I
point
got it.
in... What was that? Huh. Okay. Well then, I will just go ahead and leave you to it. Mercury, Faye, let's go ahead and make our way. Shan't keep the marshal waiting.
Oh, really quick. I sure hope you know who you're playing with when you're agreeing to do her bidding. I know what you're doing. Just be careful.
Oh, I'm not going to get another opportunity to try and push it. If I do see her again, she'll demand her price. I already know that.
I'm surprised she didn't the first time. You
I can be
definitely are a
very...
lot better.
I
You're
can be
definitely a lot better
very...
at negotiations than I ever would be.
It's all a matter of patience and confidence, and you have to confidently thrust right out of your skin with the most convincing thing that you can. And you have to wear
Well,
it.
well, my skin's a little bit rough.
Yes, I know. But anyway, off you go. You can go ahead and walk ahead of me, I promise. It's not so that I can kick you in the butt for being too literal. Now go.
He
Mercury, I don't have
shrugs.
skin.
Yeah, this is what he meant. He's got a carapace. But yeah, he just shrugs his shoulders. He goes, "Okay," and he starts walking towards the speaker's place. Did you kick him in the
Guard.
butt?
Yep, gentle, a gentle but firm little into the backside.
He turns around and goes, "You're lucky I can't do that back."
That'll teach you to not be so literal all the time. Relax. Jokes, quips. I'm full of them. All right.
The guard accompanying you looks back to the group. Hear a small chuckle out from under the helmet, and you hear these small adventures.
Oh, that is so much of a relief. Not having those weird, ghastly, smiling facsimile guards all over the place. Ugh. It's good to hear an actual laugh. Ugh.
You'll
It's just,
find us a lot more entertaining.
Well, I am glad to hear I'm glad to hear of it. Thank you. And yeah, she'll just go ahead and continue to make her way behind Mercury every once in a while, poising like she's about to do another kick in his bum just to keep him on his toes.
he'll glance back each time she does that, but he doesn't flinch. He knows it's well, he knows she's not going to try to hurt him with the kick, but he's just like you can see under his mask, like even though his eyes are completely red, you can just still tell whenever he looks back.
As you begin to approach the speaker's house, you see Lash up ahead slipping inside the front door. And right just before you all, the guard turns to you all. Once you enter, you'll most likely be sat down one at a time in private to speak. It's something of the marshal's. Uh, when she questions people, she doesn't like them to be grouped up so they can fudge with everyone else's stories.
Oh, this is reasonable. Reasonable. All right. Thank you for the escort, by the way.
Very welcome. He moves to stand by the door side, opens the door for you all, ushering you in. Inside, you see several of the heavily armored figures moving about. It seems they are setting up to be a occupying force until the security of the town can be reestablished. At, up ahead at the speaker's chair, in front of it, the large circular table with the town map on it. You see the marshal, you see Lash, and you see Astrid standing around waiting for you all to arrive. As you enter, the marshal stands up. Wonderful. You're all here. We can begin this. Get it out of the way.
Indeed.
Right.
Thank you for being so patient. And
Well,
I
really quick,
apologize. Oop.
uh, Lash, there's been a little bit of a change of plans. We'll have to start going northeast. Out of character, I'm assuming it's northeast, towards the Knolls. Uh, things have progressed, and we need to take care of them.
Okay.
Just I figured I'd let you know since you weren't in on the conversation last night.
Well, thanks for keeping me up to date, Mercury.
All right, you may proceed.
Looking at the four of you, who is the speaker for the group?
I immediately point to the big-titted one.
Every one of Mercury's hands points towards Octavia.
Faye kind of climbs up Octavia's back and points down at her.
I am the officially designated mouthpiece.
Don't say.
I mean, I would have volunteered, but I think we would have gotten some cross signals there.
Can we both share the same brain cell on that?
Oh, y'all got them dirty brains, man. See,
We know them wordy dirds.
Oh,
I thought I was the horny one.
I'm literally playing the whore.
You thought wrong.
You were in like he's not playing a fox right now, but you were in a chat with some with a fox and somebody who is playing a whore in this game, and you thought you were the horny one. You may be a bard, but like know your space.
I am quite literally in real life a fucking whore.
oh,
So am I. I even have an OnlyFans. Anyway.
What?
Marshall reaches up and runs a couple fingers along her eyebrow, pushing aside the hair that covers the scarred side of her face before sighing. Well, as the speaker of the group, she looks to the other two to cut off anything before looking above Octavia to shut off anything. We'll start with you first.
Of course.
Flash will sit back and pull a magazine out from who knows where.
Marshall begins to lead you off into one of the side rooms. You see a couple of armored figures with more robe-like lower clothing enter the room as well. Now,
She
There's
stops
one.
before she goes in. I can't say
Yes.
I'm terribly comfortable with the notion of being outnumbered in a room.
Your concerns are noted and well enough founded, but she points to the person on the left. This one will be casting a zone of truth on the area. Then she points to the one on the right, and this one will be making sure we're not looked on by outside interferences.
All right. And she will go ahead and give Faye a meaningful look, like, if you hear anything out of the ordinary, please feel free to kick down the fucking door and save me.
Get a quick nod from Faye.
All right, let us go ahead and conduct our interrogation. Please be gentle with me. I bruise easily.
Not interrogation, more debriefing.
My safe word's honeycomb.
Noted.
Sorry, macabre humor is my refuge when I am concerned with affairs. You'll see soon enough. And I apologize in advance.
When Marshall enters the room, stepping behind a desk, she removes the mace from her hip, sets it down on top of the desk as the two figures move to the corners, one beginning to cast a spell and the other beginning to draw arcane sigils on the walls.
I am going to be paying close attention to both. While I'm not necessarily familiar, while I don't know Zone of Truth myself, do I at least kind of get a sense for the weft of this arcana to be at least reasonably sure that that is what is being cast and not some kind of like barrier to hold in a fireball that they're going to like cast in the middle of the room and only like incinerate me or something?
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Let's see how the dice are going to treat everybody tonight.
That's a 22.
The one is indeed casting Zone of Truth. Make a charisma saving throw. If you wish to resist, he will know.
No, no, I have nothing to hide.
Right? You're under the effects of Zone of Truth. And the other one, the sigils you see are not anything that would prevent an explosive spell. These look to be more runes dealing with divination and preventing it.
Grand, grand, grand.
One who casts Zone of Truth leans in. She willingly let the spell take effect.
Just to give you fair warning, some of the things that I say may in fact sound so extreme you may even question whether I am telling the truth. But I promise you, it's all true, no matter how crazy it may sound.
Crazy goes in the line of work. And after the spells are cast, you watch the two figures step out of the room. Leaving you alone with the marshal. The marshal leans back once the door is shut. All right, all propriety and politeness aside, what the fuck is happening in this town and why is your group involved?
Initially, we were trying to investigate matters regarding well, the strong, persistent winter. That was what Astrid originally wanted to, I guess, requisition my aid for. But then matters got more complicated when the great big, massive magical dome dropped down. A construct created by a group of individuals belonging to an organization. Well, I call it an organization. It's a little more. It's a little more complicated than that, but let's go with organization for now. An organization called the Gloom, consisting of followers of, well, this is a recent bit of information we discovered. Followers of a now forgotten god who quite possibly took the god's divine mask and divided it among the three of them to then, I guess, masquerade about as gods, that sort of thing. Like I said, that's recent information we discovered. So
Owner of the
that's
cannery gets roped in by a speaker to investigate the winter only to find the plot is way more than what you signed on for and now involves defunct deities and thefts of divine magic.
That's a pretty succinct summary. Yep.
Former Speaker Nareth, we found his corpse. Were you responsible?
Surprisingly, no. There was a. Well, I hope that there was still a tiefling's corpse with him. Speaker Nareth was very much in league with the gloom and had sort of gone on his own, I guess, his own sort of path, his own tear, and was not fully obeying the directives of the member of the gloom who is taking majority responsibility for the events that have transpired. An individual identifying themselves as the child. Nerith had instead made an agreement with an entity who identifies herself as the Lady. There is a third who identifies themselves as the Beast. There seems to be some disharmony among them. I was attempting to capitalize on that with the most recent encounter in the basement of the well, former speaker
The
Nareth's
Luskin Arms
abode.
Inn.
Yes.
We found the mirrors, 6 of them rather destroyed, one of them not.
Be very careful. They're able to observe and sense things through those mirrors.
Noted. We'll be moving them, if we can, to Revel's End, where we can contain magical artifacts.
Be sure to reduce contact. They led previous city guard into them and they were subsequently consumed and then replaced. So be cautious.
Also noted, and that does bring me to the next point, the city guards.
I wanted to find them and I wanted to recover them because I knew that the town needed to be able to protect itself, but many of the guards, it seems, were turned into carriers or vessels of some kind of strange doppelganger magic that imprinted upon their bodies one singular sort of follower identity and persona. Like they became hosts. Because
She
as soon
looks at
as.
you.
Sorry.
She looks at you and tilts her head a little bit. Interesting perspective you've gleaned from it. We did find the guards. But, well, a lot of good they'll do anymore. Many of the mercenaries that were wandering around that had collapsed, according to Astrid. Well, we peeled a strange silver thing off their faces, and she did identify
Oh, yes.
pretty much all of them as the guards.
Yes, those strange silvery creatures are mind controlling parasites directly under the control of the child.
Moving on. White Dragon. Do you know anything about what has caused it to become agitated? It nearly took off the upper few floors of Revel's End as it took flight from the sea.
It is currently being manipulated by the lady who is speaking to her through the corpse of her husband who is still lashed to her back.
So interesting.
I have, however, managed to convince the child in my bid to be, a double agent of sorts. Um, she has given me the assurance that she will speak to the dragon through her lover's corpse in order to prevent her from immediately killing me on sight. And I have given her my word that I would try and speak with the dragon and convince her to, well, become calm once more. So, yeah.
They're acting as a double agent against these apparent divine beings. That is a very dangerous game you seem to be playing,
Yep.
Miss
And
Rolf.
and I will not get another chance because it is quite clear and was made quite clear to me that if I encounter the child again, she will demand um, an official tying act of, well, subservience, an official contract. So I've managed to convince her so far to let me roam about and be free, but I don't think I'll get the chance to do it again.
Could be useful. Well, I have two final questions for you. One, the goblins.
They
We've
were
spoken to some of them. They say you fairly well saved them from freezing and starving to death after a gnome disguised as a goblin had been leading them to rob wagons for something specific, metals in particular.
yes, medals for a strange egg that was discovered near the, um, oh god, okay. Player brain is starting to fizzle here.
Yeah,
The
downed nautiloid.
the silver egg was from the Mind Flayer crash site. Was it actually
Yeah,
from the
was it the
crash site? From the crash site, or was it from like something nearby?
yeah, I think he said it was from the downed nautiloid.
Okay. Um, the gnome who had been disguised as a goblin, rather shoddily, I might add, um, he procured some type of bizarre egg from a somewhat nearby crashed nautiloid vessel, just on the other side of the just on the other side of the I have the map here. Nestled into the central regions of the spine of the world.
Wonderful. Now, mind flayers.
Well, not entirely certain. It does seem to be broadcasting some sort of, I guess, distress signal, and anyone who gets too close seems to feel some kind of compelling draw, and they hear a voice in their head telling them to like come and like aid them, I guess. I managed to resist it, though one of my companions got a little closer to it than I would have liked. But he's well. He is well. He does not appear to have been lastingly influenced. He's also died since then, so I believe any kind of curse that might have had a hold on him has probably been dispelled with his revival.
You see her eyebrow go up a little bit at the he died part before it goes back down. You adventurers tend to treat death like a revolving door.
Oh no, I retched my guts up later because it was very traumatic, but I'm doing my best to try and give you the clear cut and succinct summary of everything without my emotional baggage. So trust me, my current calm is very much a facade.
Final question for you then.
I may have an answer. I hope I do.
What are your plans going forward with all of them?
Oh
And how
goodness.
can we help?
We have a number of things that we need to find out. The cleric, Mr. Copper, is in possession of an artifact that is supposed to be, well, an artificial sun using ancient magics that, well, the other cleric involved in the project was not, I guess, careful enough with. Um, he was completely and totally annihilated in a test of his artifact. And the testing of the artifact also seems to have had the additional side effect of creating a potentially semi divine entity of energy made from sun god energy. And they seem to have made their way possibly down to Dugan's Hole. So one of our goals is to go down there and see if we can find this entity created from the magical energy of the artificial sun, and they could be instrumental in completing the artifact, which would allow us to more effectively fight the cold that has been brought on by the now released ancient goddess of bleak winter, the goddess Aral, who is still currently too weak to properly take her, her perceived role as super matron. I'm also tasked with bringing her to heal um, by the gloom, and they have told her to expect me and to not kill me on sight, which would be quite a feat, given that I very nearly killed myself in order to you know, uh, stop her from destroying the temple at the top of the mountain with the Dragon Master and his disciples at the monastery. You might have seen his daughter out there in the hallway. She is tagging along, and she is a cherished companion, a part of our little troop, as it were.
Well, she reaches into the furs of her armor and sets a coin pouch on the desk, slide it and get across to you. In the coming days, my men will need food. This will serve as compensation for anything we might need to procure from your fish house.
But of course, normally this would be something handled directly by Cecilia. She's my secretary, and I guess you might call co-owner. She handles a lot of the logistics. We still need to get our ships up and running, see if we can start breaking through the ice in the lake. But we should be able to provide fresh fish fairly short order, as long as we're able to avoid any more super cold spats. And if we can get the white dragon under control, I fear for anyone who goes out over the water, that would be, well, a very, very short trip, and there wouldn't be a lot of help for anyone who gets caught out there. So I fear I may only have enough clout with the gloom to be able to fix one of these two situations, either attend to Arl and bring her under control, or deal with the dragon. And I'm not sure which one I ought to prioritize. They're both commanding rather immediate action.
That will be left to you and your party. Speaking of which, Miss Roth, thank you very much. If you would please send in I think my people said he is a spider.
Yes. I will send Mercury right in.
Thank you.
All right.
The door behind you opens up. You are
And
free to leave.
and I wish you well for all of your hard work in helping our town regain some semblance of order and structure. Thank you.
Very welcome.
And I do want to reiterate one more thing. I promise you, as certain as this spell is, I want you to know I am your ally, and I have no intention of actually giving the gloom what they want. You have my solemn vow on that.
Well, if I had any doubt of it, Miss Roth, I would have smote you in your chair. But I'm glad we're on the same page.
All right, and with that, Octavia is going to go ahead, step on back out, look over to Mercury and go, Mercury, darling, it's your turn.
If you look over to Lash, she somehow has a different magazine.
Yeah, the Mercury just goes, very well.
Be sure to turn
And-
the thumb screws on this one extra tight. He is very, very tight-lipped. Needs a little extra encouragement. I'm kidding, by the way. Just go in there and be
she's not.
yourself.
Terrible decision, really. But yeah, he takes a seat.
As you enter the room and take your seat, one of the armored figures enters again. She holds up a hand. This individual is going to cast a zone of truth on you. We like to keep a fresh one going. We will know if you resist. Will you comply?
If I must. Yeah, like she could see him thinking for a moment. Like he was weighing his options. But then he just goes, "Yeah, if I must."
Resistance is
I'm afraid
futile.
so. The individual holds out a hand, casting the zone of truth before leaving the room with you and the marshal. You're an unusual one. I have no information about you other than you're an outsider, other than what a certain tiefling has gone on and on and on about.
That sounds like Joyous Chorus.
Exactly. She says you're an expert in the field of whatever is going on here. So, tell me, expert, what is going on here?
Well, for starters, she likes to inflate to the idea of expert. What I consider being, or what she considers being me being an expert, I consider I survived. But I am assuming that Miss Roth had told you that we're dealing with an entity known as the Gloom. They're a group of people, or I guess in this case, false deities, that feed off of the suffering on anybody that they can find. The absolute darkest of mental states they follow. They cut deals with them and cut off places that they feel like they can take over. That's what I've essentially gleaned from my experiences with them. This currently marks my third adventure dealing with them. I was specifically sent, or well, retrieved by Joyous Chorus because I had the most information on how they deal. So basically, that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with false deities that feed off of the suffering of others, and they don't care who it hurts, who it harms. They enjoy it.
That is some new information, and from the sound of it, we'll be stepping up security at Revel's End. Plenty of people there would jump at the chance for such benefactors. Now, we've seen an uptick in activity since you arrived at Raven Queen Shrines. Why would that be?
Can I do an insight check to see if she has good intentions with this knowledge?
Yes, make an insight check.
22.
Does not seem to be anything nefarious in her acting. It is more of, I want to know why you stirred the hornet's nest with the Raven Queen churches.
All right. Well, you did say that there was a zone of truth around me, so you'll have no choice but to believe everything I say. Starting from the beginning, my entire race was created by necromancers to be slaves. The creators of us, soul necromancers, had put strands on our bodies to be able to control us whenever they wanted to. But the last realm that I was in, that I was trapped in, I had met the Raven Queen for the first time, and she decided to cut a deal with me. Since our goals were technically the same, destroying undead and sending them off to their rightful resting place, killing necromancers, any that we come across, to make sure that the defilement of the dead never happens again. We had that same goal. So she cut a deal with me to replace the strands the soul necromancers had on my entire race with her own, to use us as soldiers to free the dead from the clutches of the necromancers. So that would generally explain the uptick in warships for the Raven Queen, as she had an entire race under her foot now. Does that answer your questions?
Well enough. We've been hearing reports of gnolls from some of the Raven Queen followers that we have spoken to. What do you know of them?
Out of character, she said Knowles.
Gnolls.
Okay. Well, that's one of the reasons that I've been. Well, that's something that I've been told to investigate while I'm here. They're up in the northeast, and one of the gnolls has become a vampire. What they're trying to do is they're in a war with regular gnolls right now, and I was tasked with destroying the vampire gnoll, and I would like to get there rather quickly because the regular gnolls are losing the fight and thinking about joining the other side to become vampire gnolls themselves. Either that or a part of an undead army. I have no idea what their full intentions are. I would rather not wait to see. I would rather have them destroyed as soon as possible.
Hmm. Say that then. Once we're done here, I'll begin to have some of the Revel End guards patrol some of the roads to keep the gnolls more in check and give them something else to deal with at the moment.
Well, what you'll mostly have to do is try to find a way to stop the war between the gnolls and the vampire gnolls. Or my idea after we leave the speaker's cabin is I would like to head right there to deal with them myself, as I have been given word by the Raven Queen that I must deal with it before it gets out of hand. It was my personal mission given to me by her directly.
At least you're doing something.
Other than that, I'm assuming you want to know what my goal here is in dealing with the gloom, and that is to stop them by any means necessary. That's the point blank period of it. This is my third installment of what I like to call the shit show, because that's exactly what it is, and I hate every second. But you know, what are you going to do? If you know how to deal with it, then might as well deal with it. But if you're fully willing to cooperate in helping us get rid of them, the best thing that you can do to fight them is to get as many allies as possible. Can I trust you to be an ally?
Anything that threatens the Veil is an enemy of Revel's End and an enemy of mine. And if you're helping me stand against a threat to the Veil, then I am your I am not your enemy.
She had to adjust herself there, like, I was about to say it, but I'm not your enemy.
Very well. Is there any more questions that you have for me?
None that spring to mind. If you would please send in your interesting fox companion.
He will give a nod and stand up. Kind of surprised that he wasn't asked to take his mask off, but yeah, you will Lash, darling. You are requested.
As you exit and look at Lash, she is holding yet another different magazine. And when you tell her that it's time for her to go, she rolls it up, closes it up in her hand, and releases prestidigitation so that it goes away. All right. Time for the show.
Right into her suitcase.
Oh, one last note. I don't think this one likes innuendo as much. Just something to think
Oh,
about.
yes, please be professional.
Honey, innuendos are what I'm professional with. Playfully bats Mercury with one of her tails as she steps into the office.
I'm being serious.
As you step in, the
Unfortunately, I
second
think she was
individual.
too.
As you step in, the second individual steps in with you. Listen, this person is going to cast Zone of Truth on you. You will know if you resist. Do you consent?
Oh, as long as you'll join me, darling. We horny individuals need to be honest with each other. By the way, for the audience, the tiefling and the fox both have horns.
I
He gives a
said,
nod to the person. They cast Zone of Truth, and they exit the room, leaving you alone with the marshal. So you work for the Frosted Buckle. Interesting
And who
place.
exactly do you work for, Miss Marshall? You're a hard woman to find.
I work for the people of the Dale. I'm an
True, but you have to
independent
have
neutral force.
you have to have a boss, though, right? I mean, who pays you for your job?
She leans back, puts one leg over the other, gives a grin, showing off some fangs. I didn't know I was the one being interviewed, but I have several benefactors who make sure Revel's End is kept neutral. We accept prisoners from all over and keep them there, but only if they are truly dangerous to the outside world and to stability and prosperity. These individuals like to be left nameless, so even I do not know their true identities.
Lash will approach, sit directly on the desk, and kind of, cross her legs in a ladylike fashion while sitting there to be on full display for the marshal. So if you don't know who they are, honey, how can you trust anyone?
Names can make things difficult, but their actions so far have proven that they are allies to peace and stability. Whether they're good people or not, that doesn't quite matter to me, but what does matter is the people they send to us to imprison need to be imprisoned.
Lash nods along while listening before smiling and relaxing on the desk before going, all right, you may ask your first question.
Firstly, there are no records of you existing before just a not too terribly long time ago. Just seemed to pop out of thin air. Where did you come from?
Well, I have lived here my entire life. Uh, Records for me aren't going to exactly be the most clear because I'm sure you've noticed I'm not exactly a normal individual. And she will lower her head again, showing off her horns.
Marshall will reach up and kind of thump the side of her remaining horn. Well, you're in good company then. You do know how to be vague with your answers.
But I'm not
I can
lying.
work with vague.
Ask your second question.
Reports say that you are the de facto keeper of peace at the Buckle, and that you had an altercation with a gentleman named Scaff. Were you involved with his death?
refresh my memory. Scath was the
Tiefling.
tiefling that was
who-
helping the guy out, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
the one you had issue with, and the one you found out was not quite the same person that you had issues with as it had been controlled.
While I was not the one who was in charge of peace at the time when he had his record at the buckle stained by his own actions, I particularly did not care for the infamy that he had about him. He was not a kind individual to my lady or my sisters. No, I didn't kill him, though I wish it was me. And as she speaks, Lash is actually going to do something a little dangerous and move to be sitting in the marshal's lap.
He doesn't stop him.
So yeah, she is now nice and cozy in that tiefling's lap, while just looking down at her, smiling. Do you have a third question for me?
He had an odd wound on his chest, circles of piercing marks, with a large one in the center. Do you know anything about it?
Go figure. The parasite had a parasite on him. I believe you would have heard about the gloom from my other two party members. This child of the gloom apparently likes to send out these things to be puppeteers. Very distasteful. It is no longer alive. I really don't know how that works. From what I saw, she ate it.
Ate that one. We've recovered the rest, and they are dead.
Lovely. And Lash will have her hands kind of resting gently on the marshal's shoulders, her tails just lazily laying along her legs.
Reports are that you had one of your co-workers recently die, and you have since brought them back. Question being, how was this achieved?
Mm. Yes, that would be my sister Kimmy, the Harangon of the Buckle. Very near and dear to me. It's actually the main reason why I became an adventurer and started going around with the other two that you've already talked to. As for how she was revived, initially we were looking for a cleric that could restore her. And then we had to rely on the generosity of the head of the monastery on the mountain. What do you know about him? And she's leaning in real close, getting real intimate with her.
Master Zhao, last seen leading off the ancient white dragon, has not been seen since.
So you don't know if he made it back to his home or not.
No. All my scouts
Shit.
found were scatterings of copper scales among white scales, a not insignificant amount of dragon blood, but no body.
I really do need to pay his monastery a visit to make sure he got home okay. Anything else you would like to ask me, darling, while you have me here?
Takes a moment. What would your rates be?
Hmm. Well, depends entirely on what you would like me to do to you, or vice
I'm gonna
versa.
point out. I'm gonna point out here. If you say too expensive for you, darling, I know where you live. I will slap you.
No, she knows very well that the marshal can afford her. But yeah, that really depends on what you want me to do to you, or vice versa. And she very lightly uses the back of her fingers to stroke along the tiefling's left cheek.
Something we'll have to discuss it. I'm afraid. But
Mm.
good to know you're open for it.
Mm.
Miss Lash, I thank you very much for the enlightenment. One last question before you go, though.
Yeah.
You're a native to the Dell, as you claim to have lived here your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of your traveling companions?
She sits back a bit, still being on Marshall's lap, but she's no longer like leaned in to be all intimate in the conversation. Hands maybe resting on her hips or lower belly. I would say that they take some getting used to. Their methods aren't exactly what I'm accustomed to because I've been in this town my entire life. I've basically been at the buckle my entire life. So necessary things catch me off guard at times. I guess you could call me a bit naive.
So you can shit talk Mercury. I do not care. You can go ham. Say what you want to say.
What you say? What? Yeah, well. But no, that's her answer. Because she's not trying to get anybody else into trouble. Because hello, she's trying to fuck the police right now.
From what I've gathered, you're a paladin. What would your oath be?
That everyone is worthy of redemption until they prove themselves otherwise.
Peace, innocence, patience, and wisdom. Good tenets.
That patience is a difficult one at times.
My own are law, loyalty, courage, and responsibility. Not very different from you.
Well, is that all? And she lays back down over the marshal again, maybe even lightly wrapping her arms behind her neck.
I do believe that is all, as I do need to speak with the last member of your group.
Okay. Well, the only other thing that I can think to mention is that you do get a discount if you provide the room. She will even give her ear a playful nip before getting up off of her lap and starting for the door.
Door opens. Flash, as the door opens, you see a blur of a shadow race out along the ground, back towards Mercury.
Was the shadow eavesdropping to see if I would talk shit?
Does she want to talk to the shadow by himself? Is that safe?
No, I think she
Faye,
wants to
dear,
talk.
you're up next.
Right. Flash, you rejoin your companions as Faye enters the room. The
I
other
shall pull out
individual
a
enters with
I shall
Faye.
pull out a fourth magazine.
Faye enters the room with the other individual. Eventually, that individual leaves the room. as the marshal and Faye begin their questioning. What would the three of
Shadow's
you
gonna
like
try
to
to
do while you wait?
Shadow's gonna listen in again.
Uh, Octavia's gonna listen in too.
How's Octavia gonna listen in?
She's gonna edge closer to the door and see if she
Give-
can hear through the door.
I
It's not
think
divination.
I think the guy exits the room though every time, so he'd be outside the door.
Yeah.
He, he is, and he does raise an eyebrow, but you're not in there to interfere, so he's not stopping you. So if you want to try to listen in through the door, give me perception checks. The shadow
At
is
least
just
she's
being a
not.
little shit.
At least she's not getting a glass and putting it to the door to listen through.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Does the guard notice like Mercury's shadow being different than the other shadows? I mean, his shadow is significantly darker.
He does not seem to have noticed yet.
So was the marshal flirt with you too? Talking to Mercury.
No.
Hmm.
Who in their
Guess
right
she has a
mind would
type.
flirt with? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that type isn't spiders.
Hmm. You know, I could probably talk to Delson into not biting your head off
I'm fine.
because you seem really tense.
Trust me, I'm fine.
Okay. Okay. And she goes back to her magazine, lazily flipping through the tiny pages.
Tavia, inside the room, you hear the talk of basic questions of where are you from, monastery, how did you end up traveling with these people? You wanted to be an adventure, and you all seemed willing to take her on. Then it gets to what she knows about the potential fate of the dragon in charge of the monastery when you begin to hear Faye getting very emotional as it is revealed to her that the only sign of her father was copper scales and dragon blood with no sign of a body.
Continues to
The door.
listen. Not doing a thing.
On the other side of the door, you begin to hear Faye getting more and more emotional. She is no longer answering questions before she storms to the door and slings it open.
What? Do I need to do a dex save to not get a door in the face?
You hit me in the face with a door.
Uh, it opens inward, so this would be more so you don't fall on top of her.
22.
You
Oh, fall on top of her. She needs it right now. Be her boobala stress blanket.
Yeah, sure. The fact that it opens inward means that it can't be smashed open the other way with enough brute force. Kicks door open. That's supposed to swivel inwards.
22 on the decks, you catch yourself on the door frame as Faye begins to walk out, runs into your stomach, and her arms just instantly shoot around you.
Lash dismisses her magazine.
Don't worry. We'll figure something out. No need to worry.
Did something happen?
She learned about her father. Or rather, the lack of
Okay.
information that we have on her father.
Oh,
Faye looks up to you, Octavia, and I think I have to go home. Um, I need to tell my sister, and
Of course. You go and be with your family. That's what's most important right now.
he hugs you one more time. You hear the muttered "thank you."
Of course. And don't worry, we'll keep an eye out for your dad. He's out there.
As a much subdued Faye releases you and begins to walk to the door. The marshal exits behind her. Never good to give good news. Bad news in this case.
You be careful on your way back, Faye. Don't fight or don't start fights unless hold on. Don't initiate any fights. Run if you can. You need to make it back home more than anything.
We'll come and see you if we
Safely.
learn anything about him, and he can't come back right away.
He gives a few sniffs, wiping her face with the sleeve of her robe. She approaches you, Lash, gives you a hug. Approaches Mercury, goes to hug him, and just settles for lightly punching him in the arm.
Mercury
Stunning
will
strike.
pat yeah, Mercury will pat Faye on the shoulder. I got you. Be safe.
Before she leaves, she turns back to you, Lash and Mercury, pointing to Octavia. Take care of her. I'll kick your ass.
If anything, she takes care of us, honey.
No,
True.
I have been taking care of both of you, making sure that you don't die.
Says the one who actually became Ash at one point. Okay, I still haven't forgotten that. That was
Okay, yeah,
horrifying.
but I'm glad it was me instead of either of you.
Oh, it was very
But
nearly me, though. Let's not forget.
either way, they're in safe hands because I have many of them.
True, if it's dangerous in one hand, you can just juggle to another.
I'll see you again soon. Okay, darling? Don't worry.
Be safe, run fast.
She is going to once more pause before she leaves. She reaches up to her face. You see her dig a little bit with a claw before she plucks one of the copper scales. She's going to run back over to you, Octavia, and press it into your hand.
It's like a marriage proposal. The dragon gave you her scales.
Talk about tipping the scales. Ah.
Again, I know where you live.
After she gives you the copper scale, she turns and runs out the door. You see the dragon wings emerge from her back as she takes to the sky. Marshall will move to the center table, looking at all of you. Well, I've gotten enough of what I need from the three of you. We will not speak any more of it, as we are now not of any type of protection from anyone listening in. Just know that I am satisfied enough with your answers. You'll have their support of the Guardians of the Dale as far as I can give.
Would you be able to help by sending a couple soldiers with us to help us with the Knoll problem? I promise they will
Oh,
return safely.
I'll be sending people out that direction. Whether you meet up with them or not is, well, up to this weather.
I would very
So
much like if we travel together. I do not want any casualties.
are we heading out today or sometime later?
The sooner the better, because I would very much like for there to be no more undead gnolls, and the one side is thinking about giving up and joining the vampires' side. I'd rather not have that happen, because if that happens, we'd have a bigger issue on our hands, and it could very much hinder our progress on the realm itself.
Ash will take a deep breath, let out a small sigh, turn to the marshal and just go, rain check?
Duty never rests.
Okay. Well, I best go get the tearful goodbyes out of the way because I basically just got everybody home and now I'm heading out again. I'll meet up with you too soon. And
Right.
Lash makes her way out to the buckle.
I will go and restock at the cannery, and I can go ahead and meet you both back at the. Well, I can meet you back at the north gate, I guess.
I
You know
think
what?
Discord's getting ready to have a small crash. Nope, it fixed.
Okay.
Everyone was starting to sound robotic to me, and my connection was also going in the red. But it
Well,
seems good now.
you know what I think I might do? I think I'm going to go out and see if I can actually find some uh, animals in this barren wasteland to hunt, so I have fresh meat for the damn gnolls. If we can make a peace agreement with gnolls, like he said with gnolls as if he was realizing how crazy that sounded.
Well,
Well,
there have been
crazier has
crazier
happened.
peace talks, indeed. You go ahead and go hunt. I'll see if I can maybe get some fresh fish from from our stores, or at least as close to fresh as we have. I'll see you in a short bit. Okay?
Fresh fish. We catch 'em, you buy 'em.
The marshal's going to look to all of you. Well, if you're heading northeast out into the wastes, you'll most likely want to travel along the east way up through Caer Dineval and Caer Koenig. That'll give you the most time in civilized lands before you make your way out to the savage countries.
Indeed. Civilization is nice.
And hell, Miss Roth is good enough with negotiations. We might even have her recruit some gnolls.
Well, let's not get too crazy here. Even I have my limits. And yeah, Octavia will go ahead and she'll make her way back to the cannery to see about maybe doing just a quick bit of ice fishing out the back where the ships are.
Now I'm wondering how difficult would it be to find animals in this barren winter wasteland?
Survival check.
That sounds like a job for the ranger, actually.
I mean,
the ranger
I
is
mean,
going fishing.
like I have a survival of +5, so it's not the worst. My nature is awful though.
What's my survival at? I forget. Oh, well, your survival is actually higher than mine.
Well, yeah, you're a bard who dipped into ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say some ranger.
Shut the fuck up.
At
Nope.
least you don't ever have to worry about her drowning. Aside from her being water genasi, she has her own flotation devices.
Shut the fuck up.
And they're all natural too, so you know they float.
Based on her lore, her flotation devices naturally float. So
They naturally boing.
But I do have I do have the feature Natural Explorer, so I can gather food for a group, and I can find twice as much food while foraging and tracking animals. So, yay. But yeah, I'm gonna go fishing to see if I can get together some fish for handing to the gnolls, just in case Mercury doesn't come up with anything.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure if you were to hand them a can of something, they would try to chew it open and then attack you because this thing bit me.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go just
or they
regular
might
old fish.
or they might find thrill in it that their food fought back, so it makes their kill, quote unquote kill, more satisfying.
I mean, we could hope, but
I mean, some animals are like that.
Mhm.
So Octavia is going to do fishing behind the cannery. Mercury is wanting to do a bit of hunting.
And Lash is going to go take care of the million goodbyes that she has to go through again.
Again.
On the road again.
I'm
I mean,
tired of being
honestly,
on the road again.
Mercury has told Lash that, like, at this point, Lash's main goal is done. If she doesn't want to go, she doesn't have to.
Unfortunately, she feels responsible for the two of you. Yeah, you two are her mission now.
I'm not
I'm so
calling her
sorry.
mommy.
I'm so
Or,
sorry.
well,
I'm your
Mercury.
burden.
Yeah, Mercury's not calling her mommy. I would. Mercury's not calling her mommy.
What'd you say, Celsi?
I'm just saying. I'm so sorry. I'm your burden.
Well, I'm trying to lift my burdens. Thank you very much. Do with that what you will.
That's what she said. Bazinga. Anyway, please
Paziga?
Bazinga.
I could have sworn I heard Paziga.
Well,
I think what you meant to say was bazonga.
no,
No,
I said what I
bazongas.
meant. I
It's
said
from the
what I
bazongas.
said what the fuck I meant. Shut the fuck up.
Paziga.
I know.
All right. Continue, boss, before
Flash.
these
Before we devolve
delinquents.
even further.
Stop these delinquents. Proceed, please.
Flash, as you approach the buckle, you hear a familiar and welcome sound of the buckle in operation. Music, laugh, soft talk. Home feels like home again.
Takes a moment to just kind of stop, close her eyes, listen, smile, and maybe even wipe away a few happy tears before a few sorrowful ones fall as well, knowing that she has to leave home again. When she has uh, recentered herself, she makes her way inside.
Make your way inside. The sound grows even louder inside. place is in full swing. All the booths are full. The workers are rushing in and out of private rooms, closing curtains to the booths. You see a bright pink flash dive at you that latches onto you. Delsa has once again dyed her fur and hair back pink.
Hey, Pinky.
You get a mini limbed hug.
I hug her back as best as I can because she's on my shoulder. I can only get her with one hand.
He looks about. Everyone's so happy again.
I've really missed this. She has a sorrowful expression as she looks around.
He moves around to be clung more to your upper back and shoulders with her spider legs, her human hands resting on top of your head. She leans forward to look at you upside down. You're leaving again, aren't you?
She gets quiet and then softly nods before reaching back to pluck Delta up, bring her around, and give her a real hug. They need me to go with them again.
He looks up. We'll miss you. I'll keep it safe while you're gone.
I know you will, my fierce little spider, and I like to stroke her hair. I need to make the rounds. I especially need to let the lady know. Uh, try not to try not to be too sad about me heading out. I will do everything in my power to get back to you all. I've done it before. I'll do it again.
She gives a quick nod before hopping out of your arms, scurrying up back into the rafters.
I take a deep breath to try to recenter again because I was on the verge once more. And then I will make my way to the ladies' room. And if there's not the usual signifier that she's with a client, as rare as that might be, if there's no indication that she's with a client, I will knock.
You find no symbol. She is busy. As soon as you knock, the door does open as if she has been expecting somebody. Seeing it is you, the business smile fades and the real smile grows.
Hmm.
Well, our Flash is back again. I hope the marshal wasn't too hard on you, dear.
If she was, I would have charged her. But surprisingly, she might end up being a regular of mine in the future. Huh. May I come in?
Of course, dear.
And she
You
will
look
make her
like
way to
you've
the
got
office.
something you want to say.
She makes her way into the office, looking around at all of the familiar things that she keeps on her walls and shelves, the rug that she has in the room, even the furniture that she just remembers fondly for various reasons. Before turning her attention back to the lady, I have to leave again.
Thought you might be home for good, but once you lump in with adventures, well, home becomes a far off thing sometimes.
So close yet so far, but we've got so much that we still need to do in order to make sure that everybody is safe. We still have this dome to take care of, and we're getting ready to head up north. There is an issue with vampiric gnolls, if you can believe that thing.
I didn't know they came in the thirsty flavor. All I ever knew was hungry.
Right? uh, but obviously it's going to be me and the two other adventurers that you've seen me with. Um, and the marshal said that there might be some soldiers heading up that way to help out if we're lucky enough. Um, Mercury has a plan. Octavia has a plan. I'm flying by the seat of my pants. I am worried as all get out, and I desperately just want to be home. But I know that my place is with them for now.
You'll do what you always do. Keep us safe well, by being out.
And I know you'll keep everybody here safe as well. There's not many people that I know that are stronger than you.
Oh,
And that's not taking you in bear form. That's just as you are, my lady.
well, if I know you, saying all the goodbyes is going to absolutely break your little heart. So if you want, I can give the goodbyes for you so you can get on out of here without ruining your makeup.
Thank you. I think I at least want to give a personal goodbye to Hattie and Kimmy before I go. Delsa's already gotten one from me.
Oh, little door spider.
Hmm. So I know Hattie's not with the client. Has Kimmy gotten back into the swing of things, or is she still waiting for everything to be fully back before attempting?
He is waiting to be back at I would say 100%, but with her current weight, we'll say 200%. She's getting used to being dense, so she doesn't hurt anyone.
On the bright side, her walks home are going to be a lot more steady now. Don't have to worry about the wind blowing her away.
Could you imagine though, like with her, the whole hopping thing, like she's gonna have some thighs on her.
Oh, indeed. I assume she's also going to have a lot more customers in the future, you included, of just being a weighted blanket.
Yes, I'll
I
fight
know
the
you too
others.
well.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll fight the others. Like they take it.
uh, so, yeah, I'm going to be heading out again. And I guess I needed at least one person to know that it is going to be dangerous. I don't think I'll tell the others about the gnolls, though.
yeah, you're the only. That would be best to keep to yourself. They would worry something fierce.
So, funnily enough, I'm weirdly getting stronger with these adventurers. I've gained access to abilities I never could have if I had just been staying here. So who knows? Maybe after I get back, I could do my job even better here.
At the buckle, she doesn't farm XP, she farms sex P.
I mean, she definitely gets that
freeze.
GP.
General practitioner.
Gold.
All.
Gold pieces. Silly Foxo Boyo. It's a shame you're not playing Eevee right now. I would have had Lash sit on you.
I'm pretty sure this
Banished.
wouldn't be the first time.
Banished to the Shadow Realm, all of you.
Everett would be pleading while having 0 gold. He would have spent it all. Say, hey, begging will cost you too.
So, with all that, Lash moves in and gives the mistress of the buckle the closest thing that she has to a mother figure, the biggest hug that she can right now.
The hug is returned in full force as much as the missing appendage allows. We do find Kimmy and oh, that drink of tea went down wrong.
Oh, careful.
Ever since my issue a couple weeks ago, I'm recovering from tea. I haven't been able to drink it since, and that upsets me.
Oh,
You find Kimmy and Hattie. You get as best a hug from Kimmy as you can, given the circumstances.
yeah. I don't tell either of them about the Knolls. I just tell them that there is maybe a intense negotiation that I'm going to be a part of, and to try not to be too worried about me because it's not going to be just me there. And yeah, just a big group hug, big group hug. And with that, Lash will finish packing, double check her makeup, and head to the cannery.
Mercury, how do you prepare
For the hunting trip,
for the hunting trip? How would you like to hunt?
he's going to go out into the like he's going to stay near town. Like he's not going to go too far. Could you pull out the map, please, so I can see around town?
The little dancing sissies, they follow my friends.
Yeah, I would say oh, we're in Targos.
Yep.
Okay. Oh my God. There's the grid.
Good lord, you moved in so far you could see the grid.
I'm trying to gauge like how far away from the town he's gonna go, because like I know he's at least going to keep the town within visual distance. If it ever comes to a point where he cannot see the town anymore, he will make his way back to it.
Right.
Okay, so the 0 to 1, I'm assuming that's
A
okay,
mile.
that's miles. So I will put that into hours. So he will go about a max half hour distance.
And how
Like,
would you
yeah,
like to? How would you like to hunt?
he's mostly going to see use tracking. So like if he can find footprints, because you know he's not a fox. He's got snow nose.
That's no nose. Give me a survival check, if you would please.
What is that clipping noise I keep hearing?
23.
Around the outskirts of Targos, you find several bits of rabbit tracks. You find some slightly larger game, but nothing big this close to town. You would have to travel further out to get into any deer or elk. But you can find rabbits, uh, some winter fowl.
He'll just stick with that because you know deer or elk will be too big to
That's
travel unless he's got like a sled or something, or a sled dog. Clyde.
if you wish to re-employ Clyde on the way out, you are more than welcome. And yes, that is how Delsa hugs from behind.
Yeah, the moment it was described to me, I'm just like, I have a picture for this.
I have picture.
I I've known about that picture for such a long time. It's one of my favorites. I love it so much. But he will think, and yeah, he'll think about employing Clyde again. So he will see if he can at least acquire a deer or an elk. So he will dare to go a bit farther. I mean, he will acquire what he can of the rabbits and winterfowl, but yeah, he'll at least make an attempt for something bigger just so he can make enough of an offer. So would there be what would I roll to see like how many of these smaller game I am able to acquire?
With a 23 survival, roll me a d6 for rabbits, roll me a d8 for fowl.
One rabbit,
They're slippery and they blend into the snow.
6 waterfowl, or winterfowl.
Yeah, like quails and stuff.
Yeah.
A winter pheasant.
You get a snow hare, get 6 pheasant, and heading further out, give me a fresh survival check as you are checking a new area.
17.
17. Roll me a d4. This will be more of a how hefty is the elk you find.
3.
Alright. After acquiring Clyde once more, uh, the good boy of the group will say.
Yeah.
Heading further out, you eventually do find some elk tracks, and surprisingly, it is still fairly heavy for the conditions that it has been living in.
So in terms of Clyde, there's maybe I'm asking this because I don't know if this is asking too much, but since Mercury is able to make his own clothes, could he make a set of like at least silk armor for Clyde because he doesn't want the good boy getting hurt?
This is a delicate operation, so give me a sleight of hand check to weave Clyde some dog protection.
Doggy duds.
It's like anti-coyote gear for the dog.
26.
Managed to fashion a fairly thick set of silk armor for the dog. It will cover the back from head to tail. It'll cover the sides of the ribs. It'll cover around the neck. And you even manage to get a few bits of sharpened pieces of wood to put around the collar to deter anything from biting around the neck.
Yeah, he wants the good boy to be protected.
Clyde gives you a tongue hanging out the side of the mouth. Sled dog grin. You are able to get the elk dressed, the meat packed away. It will freeze on its own before too long. You are able to make your way back to town with a fair haul of meat. Octavia,
Yep.
you wanted to do some ice fishing.
Yes, because it's what I'm good at. And I invite Cecilia to come out and join me for a little bit.
As you exit the back of the cannery, you notice a perfectly circular hole in the ice right next to the docks.
Good to know that people are not letting the supplies stand as they are. All right, go ahead and get my my ice fishing gear, little my little rod with the nice good metal meshed line so that it doesn't develop ice around it as it bobs in the water. And get my little fold out stool, set it up just far enough away that I don't cast a shadow directly over the hole, and bloop.
Give me that survival to ice fish.
Righto. Survival. Give me a moment. Okay. Does my special feature for being a ranger uh, help me at all? My natural explorer that allows me to get double food?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to check. Okay. And big money. Nope, that's shitty money. That's an 8. Man, even though Arctic is my preferred terrain type. Damn it. Oh wait, my proficiency bonus is doubled for proficient skills when I make intelligence or wisdom checks related to the Arctic. Do I get
Can you also
advantage
still
on those?
rebarb yourself?
I could, but I don't want to use a spell slot now that I have all fresh slots. Can I roll that one more time for the advantage?
Yes.
Okay. Even worse. Fuck my life.
Even worse.
6.
Let me see. Proficiency was doubled, so that top one would be. That top one would be a 12.
Okay. Not the best, but hey, could be worse. I guess mostly this is just for me to have time with Cecilia and to kind of touch more
This is
human bases with her rather than be all business the whole time.
some decompression time for Octavia.
Yep.
Feel normal for a little bit. With a 12, roll me a d12.
That's a 2. Man, everything sucks now. All my rolls suck. Damn.
You're not talking, you're acting. Low rolls.
You got that only just that one dip into rogue. You're supposed to be a bard doing bard thing, and here you are fishing.
Excuse me, not rogue. Not rogue.
Ranger.
Ranger. We already have a
Oh,
rogue.
right.
I wouldn't double things up like that. Nah, diversify. Like a stock
Yeah,
portfolio.
you totally diversify that and not be a second shadow sorceress or a second phoenix. Potential spoilers for the campaign that I might be running.
Wildfire druid, hello. I want to be my own special
Spicy
hero,
chicken
but
drumstick.
fuck yeah. Spiciest goddamn drumstick. Burn everybody up.
All right, I'm shutting up now.
Okay.
Oh,
I hope I don't bore Cecilia too much.
no. She sits with you on the dock and looks rather happy. So you have 2 on one. Sitting there in the calm with the aurora overhead. Snow gently falling. It is calm, peaceful. You don't catch a bountiful harvest, but you do manage to pull 5 decent enough knucklehead trout from the lake. Celia leans back in her chair, looking over to you. If it didn't seem like a winter end of the world, this would be really pretty.
Yeah. Do you remember what it was like first coming down here?
Oh, when we first showed up, we came when spring and Your actual flowers out. Oh, it feels like it's been so long since I've seen sunlight.
I am sorry for dragging you out here, putting you where all of this was going to happen. If I had ever known. I am sorry for all of this.
He reaches over and puts a hand on your forearm. There's no need to apologize, Octavia. Can't predict everything and negotiate every deal. Sometimes weird just happens.
I always felt invincible, you know. I could talk my way through any and every deal. I could trick anybody into believing whatever rates I said were fair. I feel like it's all slipping. That same control, that same power I had over every situation. The moment I'm outside in the wild cold, when I know that what I'm about to face is a dragon or some twisted, unspeakable horror of some kind. Something I can't talk my way through. But I still have to be confident enough that I can, because I know that we can't fight our way through everything. There has to be words at some point. Realizing that everything that I do, everything that I can do, might not be enough. And that those that I care about might get swept away because I wasn't enough. Sometimes it's hard trying to be the strongest person in the room, the strongest personality with enough force to move mountains. But then when you face something that can actually smash a mountain, you really do start feeling small. I just wanted to sell fish. I just wanted to sell food. I just wanted to get back at that guild. I just wanted simple human things. A little bit of that unhealthy revenge. I wanted to change things, make them better for my mother, for you, for everyone who gets mistreated, who gets slighted. And until now, I've been able to do it with just words. I might finally have actually used up the very last of my powerful, influential words. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to pull off what I pulled off yesterday, ever again. I managed to deceive a god, and I managed to keep my soul. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to pull that off again. I am genuinely scared. that I may have finally reached the end of my luck. I might have used the very last shreds of fortune that I had left. And if I'm not enough to be able to pick up the slack, I'm going to lose people. That terrifies me.
Feel a finger reach up and flick your ear. None of that now. The Miss Roth I work for doesn't sit and wallow in things that she doesn't think she can manage. She always finds a way to bend the system to her way of doing things. You'll figure it out. You always do. God or no God. You are Octavia, and I have followed you this far. And look what you've done already. You saved this town from that crooked man. So take that as a victory for now and build on it.
I guess you're right. Gotta set my aims higher. Why not add wheeling and dealing with demigods to my repertoire, right? Hell of a thing to
That's
put
right.
on my hell of a thing to put in my portfolio.
That is right. Octavia Juventus Pontius Roth, the woman who outsmarted a god.
Well, just keep it under your hat for now. But thank you. I miss being able to have these talks. I miss
We're able to have them because you came through for us.
Sometimes it's nice to actually be able to just dress down and be vulnerable for once. Instead of just being the boss all the time. And you make it possible. You make everything that I have done so far possible. I couldn't do this without you. Thank you, Cecilia.
I do my best. So, no more self-doubting. You're going to get up to go and join your friends. We're going to march off to whatever crazy adventure you've got coming up next. And if the opportunity arises, you're going to bend whatever you come across around your finger.
I hope so. Oh, one small bit of interesting news. Guess who I found before coming back to town?
Now, who would that be?
I did promise you that I would try and bring him back. I owe him. Because he protected you. I saw Steve.
You watch your face drop. And what happened?
We managed to purge the frost curse from his body. And we stuffed him inside Master Zhao's palanquin. He's still there. We have him back. He's not going to be changing anytime soon. I promised you I would bring him back. And I'm still going to. It's just going to take me a little bit longer, I promise.
Just glad he's not that anymore. Go get him back.
Of course I will. I promise. And when does Octavia Juventus Pontius Roth ever go back on her word?
And for as long as I've known him.
That's right. Make my promises. Keep my promises. Well, I think that's enough knuckleheads for now. I gotta go find my bipedal knuckleheads and get ourselves underway. We're going to go and deal with gnolls now. Vampire gnolls.
Oh, that's vampire.
Yep.
How is that a thing?
You know, that is a fair question, and you know what? By this point, I've decided it's best not for me to ask. Because, after all, we are where we are. And it keeps things simple when I don't ask the questions of how that's happening. I just take it as it comes. I really do dread the massive, massive bill I'm going to have to hand to Astrid after she got me involved in all this. I don't think she can afford it.
Oh, and by the way, that letter that you uh brought back from Tourmaline,
Yes.
she hands it over to you. Yeah, I think you should read that.
Oh, it's not the
And it's
bank, is
gonna
it?
it's gonna require your signature.
Of course it is. Tourmaline. Ah, right. Right. The kobolds. Right. Right.
Where
It took me
Oris,
a moment.
where Oris is the speaker, the
Yeah.
half lady.
Pulls out the letter and reads it.
As you unroll it and read it, it's not a letter. It's a deed.
Another deed.
At the top of the deed is scribbled hastily, I don't want to deal with this headache, and consider this my payment to you for saving our asses. It's the deed for the gem mine.
Oh, was the specific headache the thing that we got to go in and kill?
Yes.
Now you've got friends in low places.
Yes, I don't want to deal with that. It's yours. Have fun clearing it out.
Oh, if only I could kick someone's nutsack from 20 miles away. Okay, well. Grand. Okay. Well, then that means I can go ahead and I can offload these to you. See if you can find someone in town who can give a better appraisal for these. And Octavia will go ahead and hand over the sample rough tourmaline stones that she accrued when she was in the mine. The two tourmalines that were worth 200 gold, the rough one that was worth 5, the rough one worth 10, and the really crappy one that was worth 1. So she's going to go ahead and hand over her 5 tourmaline stones. See if you can also find someone who might be able to cut these, so then we can make a better pitch to investors and start a more comprehensive operation over there. Also, we're going to need to requisition someone with a lot of firepower and no dark vision. Because there's a creepy spooky in the mine. That's fantastic. Awesome. Okay.
Her face was excited at the prospect of you now own a gem mine, and then it falls at the hearing of there's something bad in there.
So, just go ahead and write that down as a note for what we need to look for. We need adventurers and or mercenaries who do not have dark vision, because whatever is in there is invisible to those with dark vision. I couldn't see it almost at
How is
all.
If only you knew how badly Lash wants to take that thing out as soon as they're ready.
how is that a thing?
It crept up from the Underdark, I guess. I don't know.
Oh God, you could have stopped at Underdark.
Yep,
Everything down there wants to kill you.
yep. And this one's evolved specifically to kill things that do well in the Underdark. So,
Oh God.
yep. That's what we just inherited. That is what our quote unquote problem is now. Well, the gems are good. The creepy crawly monster in there, not so good. It's also smart, so that's horrifying.
Oh, that's even worse.
Uh,
How smart? Like clever animal smart or
conversationalist smart.
oh god.
So, yeah.
All right. As soon as I can, I'll begin looking for possibly human mercenaries
Mm,
or alchemists with
Def-
fire.
a lot of fire. Lots of
A lot of
fire.
fire.
Because, you don't want to get close to that thing. I watched it almost pull one of us down into the pit with its lashing tongue. At
From
least
over 20 feet away.
at least I think it was a tongue.
Oh gods.
I forget if it was a
Okay.
tongue or a tentacle. Either or. It's
I feel like she's probably
horrendous.
piecing together what it is.
Right. Yep, I'll file that away under future problems.
Ask Cecilia if she knows what a Lama Sombra is.
Actually, I'm gonna do one quick little thing. Bear with me. This is a self check. Yeah, she would remember. Oh, wait. The creature had a name. It escaped me for a moment. Lama Sombra, I believe, is what it was called.
Yep. I'm actually starting to wonder if it's actually supposed to be pronounced like Yasambra, because the double L is like Spanish and like
Yeah.
me llamo, whatever.
Uh,
I'll begin research.
yep. Now you see what shook my confidence a little bit. But, like you said, I can make it. Just gotta keep playing the game. And now I have to take these fish and I have to go hit Mercury in the face with them. All right.
Like with what? All I
Big,
heard was I have to go hit Mercury in the face with them. So I'm like, with what?
big bony headed fish.
She's going to introduce you to a new version of cod.
All right. It is 9:30. Let us take a 10 to 15-minute break
Yep.
and give the video stuff a break as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So be back in a bit.